No, I don't need your help. Don't make me use my wrestling moves on you. She's got a major case of ORF. Mom doesn't want to get up for you. The skid loader is broke. I'm surrounded by idiots. Good morning. Because I had so many distractions yesterday, there's a lot of stuff I didn't get done. So I'm hoping today that I can try to scrape some of that frozen manure out of this goat pen. I don't know if I'll be able to. Yesterday would have been ideal, but now it got cold again overnight. I have to get mineral out. Hi, Fern. Why are you staring at me? You have hay. You're not starving. Something is wrong with that doe. So I'm gonna keep an eye on her. She's like straining, almost like when a buckling has urinary calculi and they kind of like strain forward and they can't urinate. I've seen her do it twice now in the last like 15 minutes that I've been out here. Without really giving her a full exam, I can see part of the problem. Can you see her tits? Her teats, excuse me. Can you see those? She's got a major case of ORF. It's like a herpes virus, kind of like cold sores. The kids will oftentimes get them like all on their nose and kind of like on their lips. And it can be incredibly painful. I do have ORF in my herd. I mean, it's pretty common. The proper name for sore mouth or ORF is ecthyma. I very, very rarely ever get a kid that has it bad enough that it causes any problems. My son did buy an Oberhasli kid one year just to show at the fair. He had it really, really bad and got a secondary infection and needed to be treated with antibiotics. But like none of our homegrowns have ever, they get a few little spots. And actually I've only seen 2 of them this year with some teeny tiny mild, like they're not even open sores, they're just teeny tiny scabs. But that doe has it really bad. So what happens is they can get it on all like the hairless parts. So they can get it on their nose, their lips, their udder, their vulva. And then they don't want to feed their kids, which makes sense because actually I was looking at her kids yesterday thinking that they looked like they were falling back a little bit. It really doesn't take long for a kid to fall back if they're not getting enough milk. Now, most of those moms are total rock stars and they suffer through it and they let them drink, but I think when they're about halfway through, they're like, I can't take it anymore, and they kick them off. So they aren't getting as much. And then the kids are always after them and then they're like more aggressive. So I just make a homemade, basically cream for them out of lanolin. The lanolin is really safe for the kids to have. I don't like to use like petroleum jelly type products. I will go in and mix that up like as soon as I'm getting underway with chores here. So my list of things to do after chores is getting pretty long today. But that's gonna have to be a priority because she's gotta get those taken care of. There's no medications to help them get through it. I mean, it's just like a cold sore. Like you can use some topical stuff to keep them comfortable and that's it. And what the lanolin does is it just softens up those scabs and stuff, and it really helps reduce the pain while they're working through that. I find that they'll get it really bad once, and it's usually their first lactation. And after that, they might get a little cracking in subsequent lactations, but they really never had it bad again. It's typically just my doelings. About a year ago, I did go through and vaccinate because I had a bunch of new doelings that were coming in from another herd, and I didn't know what their exposure level had been. So I wanted to expose them to it before they had their kids. so that hopefully I wasn't seeing all these cracked udders. Nobody really knows how long the vaccine lasts, how long it's effective. It's a pretty cheap vaccine. I did it I can't remember now, I think maybe like 4 to 6 weeks before kidding. It did seem to help a little bit. You know, it's hard to tell because I typically only get 1 or 2 that get bad per kidding, usually 1. So like, because I didn't have any that got bad last time, I mean, that's only a small reduction because I didn't have a big problem to start with. I've got like, I think 18 doelings that will kid in spring. Since it's an entire group of doelings, I might go through and just vaccinate that whole group. However, those are all homegrowns and they've all been exposed to it. So I don't know. I find like, and this is all anecdotal, right? But I find that if they had a fairly intense case as a kid, they don't have it on their udder as an adult. These are just personal observations. I don't know how scientific it is. Once they have it, they always have the virus, and then it flares up during times of stress, which would be like during lactation. Their body's dragged down, and then they get it on their udder. But I do think if they get a bad case of it, they never seem to get a bad case again. So there has to be some natural immunity. I'm gonna stop talking and get to work. You have to move. Move. I can't put you in the house if you don't go there. You're an idiot. These are the dumbest dogs around equipment. Go! Clara, get in the house! Go! Yes, I will come let you in. I'm surrounded by idiots. Yeah, you're kind of one too. Alright, so you want to wear gloves because this is supposed to be really contagious. I swear I'm immune because there's been plenty of times that I've touched it or I've just gotten lucky. It's basically just lanolin with a little bit of olive oil in it to soften it up. When I put it in here, it was warm, but I let it cool down enough. I will bring this in with me at night. I don't want it to freeze. I want to keep it soft. So I get enough to hopefully treat all 4 at the same time so I don't have to dip my finger back in there. Whoa, whoa, Daisy. Oh, this is pretty bad, huh? The nice thing about the lanolin is that it's thick enough that even after the kids nurse, there will still be plenty of residue on there, and it doesn't immediately just like wash off. So I'll typically do this like twice a day. No, I don't need your help. I don't. Hey, you're gonna give her anxiety. Get out of here. Don't make me use my wrestling moves on you. I really do spend a lot of time massaging this in and trying to kind of massage off those scabs because I feel like that makes a big difference. I don't pick them off. I just kind of rub and massage and work that lanolin in. And after you do it the first time or two, you make a lot more progress every time. Thank you for your help. Okay. quick video here for you so you can see up close how bad they look. There, focus on there. Mom doesn't want to get up for you? Well, that's one way to do it. So it's been not quite an hour here, and Buck is up eating hay at the feeder himself. I went in for kind of a long and early lunch. I felt really dizzy all of a sudden, so I went in and sat on the couch and ate a little something and edited some video and felt really good. So I got back up, and now I don't feel so good anymore. So I don't know what's going on, but I gotta get this stuff done because it's gonna be down to 0 degrees in 12 hours. So the cattle did not like this last bale that I gave them, which I know it's that stuff from my brother that they don't like to eat. But the last couple they've eaten okay, but this one they really picked through. So since it's gonna get so cold, I want them to get their bellies full tonight of good quality forage. So I'm just scraping up what's left here. I put the rest of it in the barn as bedding, the kind of the light and fluffy stuff. And I'm gonna throw the rest of this in the chicken coop to bed them down. Good morning. It is very cold. It's below 0. I guess the only good thing about that is that when it's below 0, it's almost always sunny. So we've got a little sun. The skid loader is broke. I thought the issue was that it was just gelling up. So I added the additive. And it was running fine, but it like restricts the power once it starts to gel up, and it'll only let you like crawl. But there's something else going on with it. I'm not a mechanic, so I'm just gonna use my car to move stuff back and forth. We're still having stray voltage issues with our tank heaters. The cattle tank seems to be fine, but the goat one is not. So I'm having to run hot water back and forth from the house in jugs, and I just keep topping them off with hot water to try to keep them from freezing. It really doesn't take long for them to freeze over in this cold weather. So, and then I am gonna put some additive in the truck too. I was gonna go somewhere today, but I don't think I'm gonna now. So we'll see. But I'm just gonna, I also thought I had brought in all the stuff in the house that shouldn't be kept outside this winter, and I forgot that I still have like some lube and some betadine stuff out here. So I'm just gonna get that all in my car and bring it to the house. What do you think about this, Mira? She's like, I'm fine. I don't know what y'all are cold about. Huh? Yeah. You girls don't mind this stuff at all, do ya? No. As long as the sun is shining, these dogs are comfortable. When it gets cold at night and it's windy, then they get a little like, oh, we'll go inside. All I've got left to do is just treat that doe with the ecthyma on her udder. But I also have another one with she's just got a big crack. Her kids are so like intense when they nurse off of her, and I think they're just rough and, you know, winter dry skin. So I'm gonna apply it to her first, and then I will do the one that has the sore mouth on her udder. Oh, even with that in my pocket, it's kind of freezing. Okay, Mama. Oh, that was pretty quick and easy. I think I'm not gonna halter that other one. I'm just gonna schlup as much on her as I possibly can quickly. My pinky's clean, so I'll just use that. One of the biggest problems is as soon as I hold her still, then those bottle kids come running over to me because they want me to feed them. I just fed them, so hopefully they'll be fine. And then her kids came running over like, oh, look, she's holding her still for us. Where are you, Turquoise? It's one of these two. It's that one. Get out of the way, don't knock it over. Okay. I am gonna go in for probably about 2 hours, and then I'll come back with more hot water. We'll close this up a little. It's not real windy today, so it's not too bad. Buck is still not great. Like, he's eating, but he doesn't feel good yet. He's got antibiotics on board. His gut is moving. That has cleared up. He feels like crap yet. I do still have him on some pain meds. Unless I see some new symptoms or something, I guess we're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing. Those cattle tank heaters are struggling to keep up, so I didn't fill them all the way, because I'm just a little worried that like it'll turn into a big block of ice. So probably fill them the next time I come out, like, and kind of keep them at that halfway level. You take for granted how much you use the skid loader and how much easier it makes your life so you don't have it a day. So I spot cleaned them all out earlier today. They're good to go for the night. I spread out a little more corn stalks. The nice thing about when it's really cold, it doesn't take there long for their manure to freeze, so it just kind of freezes into nice pies and it doesn't get everywhere, so they stay nice and clean. But this is the time of year on the bedding pack where you're going to start to see some manure on the cattle because they lay in it. But when it's real cold like this, you see a lot less of it, so that's nice. The last thing I gotta do before I get inside here is I just gotta run the garbage up to the neighbor, and then I gotta eat lunch, and I have so much paperwork to do that I've really been procrastinating on, but I can't do that anymore.